I would like to begin by emphasizing that most of what you're about to hear in this video is a complete rumor, so take this with a grain of salt. The following information comes from a YouTube user going by the name of It's a Gundam, who divulged some interesting information through a recent video of his own. It is no secret at this point that Bethesda's Creation Club, which is basically Bethesda-published mods sold through a microtransaction system, hasn't resonated well with gamers, like at all. Bethesda can call it whatever they want, but everyone recognizes that this is pretty much their second attempt at paid mods. I've already talked extensively about why this service is a disgrace, about the issue where it automatically downloads and fills up your hard drive with useless preloaded mod files, and all around about how anti-consumer this initiative is. Now, there's a whole other side to this issue that we really haven't talked about much. We haven't really discussed what the Creation Club might be like from the modders end of things, and this is where Gundam's rumored information comes in. Gundam apparently got this information from two sources who work in the video game industry. Obviously, due to the nature of anonymous sources, their identities have been kept a secret, but it was insisted that they could be trusted completely. And what these two sources confided in him was a brief explanation of how Bethesda is compensating modders for their work, and it's pretty grim stuff. Allegedly, if the sources are to be believed, there's a contract involved, and all modders get compensated for their work is a one-time payment ranging from a couple $100s to just under $1,000. That's it. Once the mods are made, released, and sold through the Creation Club, Bethesda allegedly gets 100% of the revenue. If this is true, what this means is that modders don't get paid any residuals or royalties for their own creations. As if that doesn't sound bad enough, apparently another big catch is that the rights to any mods submitted to the Creation Club will be completely owned by Bethesda. What this means is that if Bethesda loved your work and they wanted to use it for another project, they could do that without having to ask your permission, without having to give you any additional compensation beyond that one-time payment, and without having to give you any credit. They would assume full creative control over your work and make all the profit they want from it, while you're left in the dust with just a couple $100s. So what you're left with is a service that not only rips off its consumers, but also the modders, creators, and developers as well. For the consumers, this was supposed to be a platform through which substantial new content, or mini DLCs as Pete Hines referred to them, would be released to extend a game's life cycle. For the modders, this was supposed to allow them to make a living out of modding by working on mods on an official capacity as if they were Bethesda developers. In return, Bethesda would be able to make a little extra money on the side while fueling their games with a wealth of new content. Basically, the Creation Club was supposed to be a system that benefited everyone, a win-win-win type of situation. But from where I'm standing, the only one reaping any substantial rewards from all of this is Bethesda. From the consumer's end, all they're getting out of the Creation Club are a bunch of lame, overpriced skins and items that you could find better versions of for free in other modding sources like the Nexus. From the modders' end, if the rumors are true, the way they're being treated is reminiscent to how big corporations fuck over original creators of intellectual properties. For example, did you know that after the creators of Superman, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, sold the rights of the character to DC for a measly $130, or $2,200 today when adjusted for inflation, they never saw a penny of royalties after the character's success? The duo did try to win back the rights multiple times, but ultimately failed, and the only real compensation they received after numerous legal battles was name credits and some stipends. Compared to what the big corporation DC earned from Superman, the original creators, Siegel and Shuster, earned but a minuscule fraction's worth of compensation and credit. Another example is Alexei Pajitov, who created Tetris in 1984. Because the rights to the game was originally owned by the Russian government, Alexei didn't receive any royalties from his creation until he moved to the USA and founded the Tetris Company in 1996. Finally, I would say that the best example of this practice is the story of Spider-Man's symbiote suit. Did you know that the suit's original concept came from an idea submitted by 22-year-old Randy Schuler during a 1982 Marvel contest? One day, Marvel decided to purchase Schuler's idea for a mere $220, which is around $500 today. And now, Spider-Man's black suit is worth a heck of a lot more. To this day, the original creator never received a penny of royalty, and his part in the suit's creation was never acknowledged by Marvel. These are just a few of the more famous examples. The fact of the matter is that stuff like this happens all the time, particularly in the entertainment industry. You might come up with a brilliant idea for a screenplay that gets picked up by Hollywood, but all they'll give you is some short-term money and a small name credit before they run off with your idea and make millions off of it. So yeah, if the latest rumors are true, this is pretty much exactly what Bethesda would be doing to the modders of the Creation Club. Now, some of you may argue that in the examples I provided, the corporations were within their legal rights, but just because something is legal doesn't mean it's right or that it has to sit well with me. I don't believe there should be any scenario in which the original creator of a work isn't fully acknowledged or compensated fairly. This practice is especially not okay for the Creation Club, since the service was advertised as a way of allowing modders to be treated and paid like Bethesda developers. Now, I can't emphasize enough that this is all hypothetical and that these are opinions that I'm formulating based on rumors and speculation. At the same time though, is it crazy that a part of me actually believes that these rumors are entirely possible? I genuinely can't believe that I've gotten to a point where I'm having all these cynical thoughts about a game studio that I once loved dearly. And this isn't just an emotional response, there is logic involved behind this train of thought as well. For example, something I found strange about the Creation Club is that it never advertises or credits any of its modders. If you sift through the Creation Club, you may notice that none of the mods list the creator or the people who helped make them. On the other hand, whereas the Creation Club is a bit of a black box in that regard, the Nexus is an open book, allowing modders and mod users to easily get in touch with each other. Why all the secrecy on Bethesda's front, I wonder? Why not acknowledge these modders? Is it because Bethesda doesn't want us to reach out to them and ask them about how they're being compensated or how their work environment is like? Is it because the modders don't, in fact, own the rights to the mods that they create, so their names aren't being attributed to their own creations? This lack of crediting just gives me the vibe that Bethesda is trying to keep the modders behind the limelight while the company takes advantage of their work to reap the rewards. I don't know, this is just my mind taking me to cynical places with very cynical circumstantial evidence. I pray that these rumors aren't true. I hope that Bethesda isn't actually fucking over their modders just as hard as they're fucking over their consumers with this shitty Creation Club service. What do you think about these rumors? Probable, improbable, too early to tell? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you enjoy my content, I hope you'll consider supporting me on Patreon to help our community remain independent from third-party sponsorship and corporate interference. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out!